Masuk YouTube semua guys.
Alright.
Alright, so we are live. Alright, welcome back to your online delivery learning. So we are going to go straight to chapter 3 today. I think we have pretty much covered everything in chapter 2. We have gone through the slide right yesterday. Betul tak? You can you can say it out loud in the chat box there, or you can turn on your mic whenever you want to speak, so that it doesn't feel like a total silence inside here. Tapi kalau ada bunyi enjin tu off lah. Bunyi kipas angin ke, bunyi apa ke. Can you hear my aircon sound? Ada bunyi tak? Ataupun the sound of this laptop fan. I think you can hear that. Because the laptop is quite hot now. You see everything here is 70-80 degrees Celsius. Alright. Left the meeting. What happened to you guys? Keep on leaving. Keep on rejoining and leaving, rejoining and leaving. So let's proceed. Okay, we are 1 minute 55 seconds into the stream. So let's get to topic 3 straight away, shall we? So what I want you to do now is also go to this Slido thing. Slido. Okay. You use your phone to visit this site, sli.do. You just sign up using your account, your Gmail account, and then I will any question here? Okay, I will reset the result here. This will be just a few real-time interaction that we will be doing afterwards.
What is the code?
Yeah, you already seen the question here, whatever. Alright, so you just go to this slido.com. It's not slido.com, it's sli.do, and then you enter the code here, F863.
Okay.
F863.
Sorry. Already too.
Okay, once you have entered that, I will go into the slide right now. Open the Slido, open sidebar. I will use the Slido interface first, and then once I finish with all the polls, we will use the normal Google slide. Alright, I hope that we can go as far as possible into this topic for today. Alright, so conditional and logic. I don't think I need to show this to you anymore. What I want to see now is your own chat box here. Okay, so let's make this smaller. I don't want to see my face here. I want to see the chat. Alright, okay. So there you go. You are free to chat with me anytime you like, anytime you want to say something. You just turn on your mic and then speak it up. So let's get into this topic. Conditional and logic it is divided into two types of condition here. One is this normal condition, the other one is logic. Alright, So relational operator, let's get into this part first. Let me introduce you to relational operators. Before you learn how to make a condition, you need to understand the concept of relational operators. So when writing conditional statements, sometimes we need to use a different type of operators to compare values, because we are comparing values all the time. In programming, we normally compare values. It's either comparing numbers or comparing strings or comparing characters. So we will normally do those kind of thing in, let me see my stream here. The stream is a bit laggy, I don't know why. Okay, back to this. All right, so these are the operators that you need to understand. The first one is double equal. Okay, we call this double equal. I don't call this equal. So whenever I say double equal, it means you have to write down, or you have to type the double sign twice. So that is what we call double equal. It is referring to this definition, equal to. So it means equal to. Double sign equal is referring to equal to. Whenever you have the exclamation mark in front of the equal, this is what we call not equal. So that is not equal. Okay, I zoom in a little bit. And then this one right here is larger than. You normally see this in your maths, in your calculus. It's larger than. The number on the left hand side is larger than number on the right hand side. Of this one, it is less than. So the number on the left should be lesser than the number on the right. So this one is for you to compare. So is the number on the left larger or equals to? It combined greater than with equal sign. So is it greater than or equal to? And lastly, is it less than or equal to? So look at the sample code right here, very basic code, which is we have declared a variable called grade here. The name is grade with the data type of int. We have assigned 49 to this grade here, and then you have got this weird looking code down here. It is an if statement that you are going to learn later. So you start off with if, in Malay jika. So if grade is larger than 50, then you will need to execute this one. So if grade is larger than 50, you print out pass. Okay, so we will do this in more hands-on approach using Code Academy. So you don't have to worry about looking at the instruction down here. We are not going to do that inside this Google slide. Relational operators compare the value on the left with the value on the right. So you always have two values to be compared here. Okay, you have the one on the left and the one on the right. So for every operators here, you must have two different sets of value that you want to compare. Okay, is everybody still listening? Alright, so next, alright, you need to take note with these two operator here. They are not the same. Okay, they are not the same. So to compare two values, you use the double equal sign. To assign value, you use a single sign. That is how you do it. The difference between this is just the number of equal sign. Okay, don't get confused with these two. Okay, don't get them mixed up. So this one is not for you to assign value. It is just to compare the value on the left with the value on the right. So this is the example that I have for you. So you have one value here, it could be any value. Just assume that you have a variable called value 1, and then you have a variable called value 2. So is value 1 equivalent to value 2? Is it the same as value 2? So this one right here is not the same as the one at the bottom here. So the one at the bottom here is basically assigning. So you assign the value 2 into value 1. Okay, so maybe you have some number here. Let's say value 2 is 0. So 0 is being assigned into a value 1. So that is what it means. So you don't get these two mixed up. Alright, this is the code just now for the Slido thing. If you miss my Slido screen just now, so this is the code. You go to sli.do, this link right here, and then you log in with using your Gmail account, and then you just enter this class code here. You will see nothing for now, okay, and there will still be an empty screen. You only see this Q&A, I think Q&A screen on your phone. Alright, so this is a logical operators. Just now you learn about these relational operators. Now you are looking at the logical operators. Logical operators is actually coming from you have learned this in physics, okay, from the previous class this morning. They said that they learn about logic gate in physics. So I think you are familiar with AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate. If you want to look at the signage that you use in C programming, this is the one that you use. For AND operation, you will use this double AND sign, double ampersand. For OR gate or for logic OR, you use this double vertical bar. Double vertical bar is located above your enter button, so you need to press shift and then you press that button above the enter key. And then lastly, you have this NOT gate or logic node, not logic. Okay, so it comes with this single exclamation symbol here. So whatever that you not can is gonna be the opposite of that value. What does it mean by that? Alright, so we are playing around with numbers, which is only there are two numbers that we need to concern about in logical operators, which is 1 or 0 or 1. This is because logical operators is used for testing truth value. So truth value is only false, which is 0, and true, which is 1. So whenever I said true, it means 1. Whenever I said false, it means 0. So if the input value for your NOT logic is 0, then the output is going to be 1, and vice versa. If the input is 1, then the output is going to be 0. So from this truth table, you need to understand how to change the value here. So this value 1 you replace with 0. Let's say this value 1 you replace with 0. So you not 0, the answer is going to be 1. So if the value 1 here is 1, so not 1, it is equivalent to 0. You can do that in your online C++ compiler. So let's go to online C++ compiler. You try to split up your window like this as well, so that you can watch the stream in a smaller scale window, or you divide it proportionally. I think it is much better if you do it this way for now. Okay, so I think you can have a quite large window here to watch the stream. Okay. Okay, but I can minimize this as much as possible so that I have plenty of workspace on the right. So I can show you what does it mean by this true value. Alright, I don't want you to see all this introduction code, so let me remove that. Okay, let's say we are having this, let's say we use the same annotation just now, but we use this value1, value equals to 0. So let's say you see out that value. I don't think I need to put endl there, so I just run the code. So you will see 0 in my terminal here. What if I put a not sign in front of that value? You see, I will get 1 as the output. Do you understand it now? Hamda?
Yes, sir.
Alright, it is simply inverting the value right after the exclamation mark. So basically any numbers, even it's 1000, so 1000, if you not the value, is gonna give you 0. Right? So whatever number that you want to put inside here is gonna give you 0, because everything other than 0 is considered as true. In computer world, it's a bit weird. Okay, there are two main values that you need to understand in computer world. It's either 0 or just 1, but 1 is to represent the whole number in the universe. Any positive number is also considered as 1 in computer. So these two are the only major number in machine language, which is 0 or 1 by itself. So if you have the value of 0, 0, 0, 0, you are gonna get 1. Can I get 1? Alright, yeah, it lags a bit, but still you can see the output here. So I hope that you can try it on your own as well. So let us move straight to AND gate. I think this one is pretty much just that. You only need to understand that. Okay, it just invert the value that is directly after the exclamation mark. But here we have got two values set for AND gate. So you have two input for AND gate. Is either both of them are 0, either one of them is 1, so is 0 1 or 1 0, or the final input configuration is gonna be both is true. So both input is true, then it will output to 1. So this is the AND gate truth table. You have to memorize this. If 0 0 as the input, so the output is gonna be 0. If 0 1, then the output is 0. If 1 0, the output is still 0. And lastly, whenever the both input is 1, then the output is gonna be 1. So you can try this out as well. So let me make two different variables here. So this is value 2. Let's say we have both of them here. So value 1 and value 2. So if you run this, you're gonna get 0. Alright, you get 0. If either one of these input is 1, you're still gonna get 0. Okay, if this one is 1 and then this one is 0, you're still gonna get 0 here. 8 1 0. Why do I get 1 here? 1 weird. I'm using the N. One zero is should be 0. What? Should I not trust this online compiler, or is it just because of I didn't include this bracket for some reason? Yeah, I need to put this bracket. Somehow they are not functioning as expected. Alright, so this is what you're gonna get if you use AND logic. So if only both input is 1, then you're gonna get 1 as the answer here. So for OR gate, you use double vertical bar. So for double vertical bar, the truth table is different. It's down here. If you have both input are 0, then the output is gonna be 0. But if either one of the input is 1, then the output is gonna be 1. So the pattern is inverted. So for AND gate, it is 0 0 0 1. For OR gate, it's 0 1 1 1, assuming that you have the same input pattern here. You need to remember this input pattern here. This one is 0 in decimal number. This is 1 in decimal number. This is 2 in decimal number. This is 3 in decimal number. So you have to understand the concept of binary number here. It's binary arrangement. So let's try that. If both inputs are 0, then the output is gonna be 0. If either one of the input is 1, if you run the code, you will get 1 for sure. Alright, if you have this one, and the value 2 as 0, you're still gonna get 1 as the output. Alright, and lastly, if both inputs are 1, then you still gonna get 1. Why does it feel so slow somehow? Okay, paham? Is everyone okay now? Boleh? What are you guys doing? Baring dekat katil ya? Apa tu? Macam bunyi lain macam tu bunyi tu. Alright, so alright, checkpoint. Now I need to test your sanity, whether you are still here or not. Alright, what is the operator for? You look at your phone now. On the Slido page, there should be this question being given to you. So you just tap on the correct answer. Tap on the correct answer.
Wait. Oh, cool. Well.
10, 11. What is that operator for? It's a very basic, simple question, but it is so important for you to understand this starting from now. Because starting from now, you're gonna do a lot of logic, a lot of relational type of programming, relational structure. $16. $17. Kenapa lambat ni? This is to test your involvement. At least I can see how good your internet connectivity is as well. Because the slower you answer this, maybe the slower your internet connection is. Where are the rest of you? Just around 4% to go. Where are the other 4? Still 17. Now I have two face in the live stream. Yeah. Nineteen. Dua orang lagi. Mana dua orang lagi? Lambatnya. So I just keep the two students who are not answering this. So the answer is going to be equal to. Masih ada juga orang salah kah? Okay, this sign right here is referring to equal to. So you don't. So the other question is going to be this one. Alright. What is the operator here for? Just by reading the operator, you might be able to answer. You need to remember, how do we say this exclamation mark in programming term? You are not gonna say exclamation. Kamu tak akan cakap tanda seru. It's getting hot in here. Seventeen. Is your line okay? Sambil orang tunggu orang, yes sir. Pergilah. Macam lah saya tahu awak nak pergi toilet. Macam mana saya tahu apa nak pola awak? Kan kita on camera pun. Kita on dalam jamban sekarang pun saya bukan tahu. 18. Kenapa makin slow kamu ni? What happened to you guys? Line okay tak?
Saya okay sir. Kurang sikit.
Kurang sikit Siapa akan cakap kurang untuk Syarizan?
Syarizan.
Saya stuck tak? Mau tengok ada. Hah?
Tidak lah.
Tak. Okay. I don't think we can wait for too long. We can just skip. You see, now I got 3 people not answering, so everyone is answering correctly. So the last question here, B is larger than A. How do we write this in relational operator form? This is gonna be the last part here. Takut ada yang multi screen tengok anime. Yalah, it might probably it might be happening. Since you are free to do so. Okay, I'm back. Okay, man. Okay. Who else? Saya tahu je siapa. Saya dah skip dah. Mana dah saya tunggu awak. Saya skip dia. Ish. Alright, still 18 people. Maybe those 3 people is having the worst internet connectivity here, so I'm not gonna wait for them. So let's skip to this. Alright, so if B is larger, then the operator that you need to use is arrow going to the right. So that is larger, meaning the one on the left now is larger than the one on the right. Okay, so let's get into this if statement here. Conditional logic. So every program we have seen so far has had only one possible path of execution. They all are executed line by line. Don't look at my face again. Alright, so every program we have seen so far has only one possible path of execution, which is the sequential manner of programming. So they all execute line by line, top to bottom. Every time you run one of those programs, it gives you the same exact result. It is but it is 21st century and we like options. In this lesson we will explore how program makes decision by evaluating conditions and introduce logic into our code. So what we are going to cover in this topic 3 is basically conditional method. So there are two methods that we use. One is if, the other one is switch. But first we are going to learn about if. So if is the fundamental part of conditional logic. The other variation of if is else if. Whenever you have multiple options, and the other one is gonna be else. So switch statement is also part of this topic. Relational operators that you learned just now, you're gonna be using those relational operators in conjunction with your if statement. The same goes to logical operators. Everything can be combined together. Okay, so let's proceed with the next slide. Okay, coin flip, I will skip this part right here because you are going to use Code Academy afterward to do this exercise. So I can skip this one. Alright, I go straight to this. Okay, this is the first logic statement in your topic 3. You need to learn from the very basic of making condition. So it is called if statement, and if statement is used to test an expression for truth and execute some code based on it. Here is a simple form of the if statement. So you have this format here. This is the format that you need to follow. So first you start off with the keyword if, followed by this parenthesis, and then inside this parenthesis you write the condition. So after the condition, after you close the parenthesis, you will open up the curly braces, and then inside this curly braces will be your statement. Whatever you wanna do in that curly braces is up to you. It's up to your creativity, whatever you want to do. But the statement will only be executed if the condition is true. Otherwise, if the condition is false, if the condition is not true, or in other words, if 0, then it will not be executing the statement. So if the thing inside here is 1, then it will perform the statement. So basically, let me show you a simple use case scenario for if statement here. If, let me put just the number here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. Right, so leave out. I will just write do something. Do something. Okay, if 1, do something. Alright, so let's run the code. It says do something. If 1, you see, this is just number, right? Just a number. This is considered as integer. It could also be Boolean, right? So if 0, what happened? If you run the code, you see the result, you will see nothing. Okay, nothing being printed out except for just the normal console message down here. Program finished with exit code 0. If it says exit code 0, meaning the program has been successfully executed. There is no error in this code. It doesn't mean that you don't see anything. Something is wrong with your code. If you see this exit code 0, means everything is okay. Everything has been successfully executed. Press enter to exit the console. So nothing wrong with your code. It's just that this condition is now false. Okay, so you need to take note. 1 in computer programming is considered as true. 0 in computer programming is considered as false. So you can also write true inside here. If true, this is what we call Boolean. This is Boolean. The fifth data type that you need to understand. Okay, so it's Boolean. Alright, so let's run this. You should see do something. If I type in here false, then you are not gonna get anything printed out. See? Alright, so that is regarding if statement. This is a single if statement. Only if the condition, this is the condition part right here. So if I make one simple condition variable here, I name the variable as condition. You see, I name the variable as condition, and I give the value of 1 to it. I can run the code, and you should be looking at the result here. Do something. If I declare this condition as 0, I should get nothing out of it. Alright, okay. I can also use Boolean to declare this. If Boolean is true, bool condition is true, then do something will be printed. If Boolean condition is false, if I run the code, it will do nothing. Okay, faham? Faham semua? Respond. I wanna hear your voice.
Okay, sir. Faham, sir.
Alright, so that's good enough for you to understand this. So you don't have to read all that down there. Alright, so let's look at this example right here in this instruction. You will do this in Code Academy as well, but since I have one more poll for you, checkpoint ahead. So write the condition inside here. If grade is larger or equal to 50, is true, output pass. So the condition is grade is larger or equal to 50. So please write this inside here, and you need to choose the correct answer based on this statement right here. If grade is larger or equal to 50. So which one is the answer? How would you write that? If grade is larger or equal to? Munsik Boolean, apa benda munsik Boolean? Perlukah letak int condition ya? Int condition ya. That's just for that is just for example. I just wanna give you the example of declaring a variable here and then putting that variable inside the parentheses. If you put the value straight away, meaning you are hard coding the code, meaning this condition will always be true. You don't want that to happen. Other than that is what you want the program to do. So we don't want to have a fixed value here. That is what I mean. We don't have to have a fixed 1 inside our condition, or we don't want to have a fixed 0 inside our condition. It must be variable. You can change the condition, so based on the input later. That is why I prefer you to have one value inside that, and that value I call it condition. And you can use either Boolean to declare that, or you can use int to declare that, or you can use float to declare that. It's up to you. You just don't use string to declare that. String is not counted. This one cannot. So cannot use string. Other than that, all these data types can be used as condition value. So but you cannot do this in your code, because you cannot redeclare two different data types with the same name. If you run this code, you're gonna get error. You see, conflicting declaration. It says it conflict with these two. So you have a conflicting variable declaration. Why do you have two different variable types but with the same name? If you plan on doing so, you need to at least differentiate between these two. You can add a number at the back of this in int condition to differentiate with the first declaration up there. So there you go. Since I didn't put any value inside the condition here, so you are not gonna get any output. If you put true, then you're gonna get the out statement. Okay. Alright, 19 of you is here, so I hope that everyone got it correct. Yes, good. Alright, so I guess that's all for me to use this Slido. I don't think I have any more interactive slide down here. Okay, let's move on to conditional and logic. Okay, close this thing. To make it big, how to make it right? I need to enlarge this screen a little bit. Okay, so I think we have done this. We are now at else statement. So this is used whenever you have two different output rather than one. Just now you have only one output, something like this. You only have one output here. So else statement means you have the second output. If the condition is true, then you do the first statement. If the condition is false, you skip the first statement, but you execute the second statement. Something like this. If you have, we use the same example here. Okay, the first thing that you print out here is do something, right? So if the condition is true, then you do something. But if the condition is false, you add else statement here, and then you will be doing something else. So do something else. Alright, that is the whole code there. So let me run the code now and see the result. Okay, I don't think I need to show you that much, but just watch this. Right, so now it says do something, right? If I change this to false, then what's gonna happen? It's gonna do something else. Paham? Let me hear your response, please. Alright, so that is what I mean by having two different outcomes. Okay, these are the two different outcomes. Just now, without this else, you have only one outcome, but now you have two different outcomes, so you use else keyword or else statement. Alright, so skip that. Okay, this is gonna be the example in the Code Academy. So else if statement, if you have multiple it's not only two possible outcomes, you have multiple outcomes. So let's get straight to this example right here. You might have one more condition here. Okay, but this condition is no longer Boolean. Alright, so this example right here will be changed by me afterward. So if condition, so now we don't call it condition anymore, let's call it value, and we change this to int. We are no longer playing with Boolean now because this is multiple outcomes, so the value might be different. Okay, so let's say I am declaring the value of 100 here. So if the value is 100, then you print that out. If the value is 200, then you print that out. So 100, print out the number itself, but in literal form. Okay. So this is the second condition here. So this is the second number that you have got here, and the last one is gonna be this statement, output statement, not 100 or 200, neither. I think this one should be norm, but this is not Grammarly class, so whatever. I will run the code. It is 100, right? So let me change this to 200 and see what happened. It will output 200. So let's say I put 1000, 10,000 maybe. So that's it. You have multiple outcomes, but the input is also not just two. You are not limited by two different input. That is the case here. So that is why I changed the variable here to become an integer, and then I can put any number here. I can put 1, and you will see the answer is going to be neither 100 or 200. Okay, paham?
Faham.
Alright. Just a few of you answering, just jadi wakil, represents the whole class, you know. Just seorang dua orang je pun cakap faham, tapi laju lah. Oh, really laju gila. Do you think I'm going too fast? Really? Sila laju. I'm not too worried about you saying that I'm doing this too fast, because everything is being recorded, you know. So if you think that this is too fast, then you reverse back later on. So you watch back the recorded live stream at your own pace, so you can keep on repeating this whole thing. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to slow down because now it's already 5:05. Alright, else if statement. This is taken from the Code Academy, as you can see right there. And this is the problem that we are going to answer in Code Academy as well. It is related to pH value. So in chemistry class, a pH value is a scale used to specify the acidity or basicity of an aqueous solution. Alright, and if else statement that if pH is greater than 7, output basic. The other word for basic is alkaline. If pH is less than 7, output acidic. If neither, output neutral. So this is what you're gonna do in the Code Academy later on. But let's start off with the flowchart and pseudocode. So this is pseudocode version, this is the flowchart version of the algorithm design. So you start off with begin, and then you assign a value to the variable called ph, and then you can put any number from this within this range from 0 to 14. So 0 is the most acidic level, 14 is the most basic level, or the most alkaline level. So if the value is 7, meaning it is neutral. So this is how the flowchart looks like. You assign the pH value. I call this a process, so I use a rectangle here rather than input. So you come across the first condition here. If pH is larger than 7, that it means it is basic, so you go straight down. This one happen if the condition is true. If the condition is false, you go this way, go to the left, and then go down here, you go to the next condition. If pH is lesser than 7, if this condition is true, then display acidic, right? If not true, if the condition is still not true, then you go down here, go to the right and go down here, you display neutral, and then you end the process. So every display will go straight to N as well. So from basic, you go straight to N. From acidic, you also go straight to N. You're not going straight to neutral. Okay. So after each display process, you will end the program. So that is what I mean by drawing these multiple arrows here. Okay, and then you have this nested if. This one is a bit more complicated than the normal if statement. Consider this as an ifception, right? You have if inside another if inside another if. So it's if bana if. So you have multiple if. So look at this example right here. You have the largest if with the first condition here. If condition 1 is true, then you can go inside that statement which consists of all this, the highlighted one. So you will come across the second condition after that, and then you check this condition. If this condition is true, you will enter the curly braces, and then you will come across another, or the last condition which resides inside the second condition. So this is what we call nested if. Okay, this is the example right here that you can try out on your own, but I think I want to skip this part right here because you can try this out and see the result. Let me just show you how it runs. So I copy the code inside online GDB and then simply press run. Alright, I will remove this command right here, so then you are not getting confused by all these commands here. So looking at this pattern right here, you have one variable here. You call it I. The name of the variable is just the letter I. You assign the value of 13 to that I, and then you compare the value of I with 10. Is I larger than 10? So is 13 larger than 10? So 13 is larger than 10. 13 is larger than 10. So true. So it is true. It is true. So if this one is true, then you go inside here. If then you come across another checkpoint here. So if I is lesser than 13, so is 13 lesser than 15? Is 13 lesser than 15? Yes, this one is true. So you will do this. I is smaller than 50. That is why you see it being printed out here. But after it prints this statement, it will come across another if statement down here. So if I is lesser than 13, 12 is 13 lesser than 12? Less than 12. It is not. It is not true. So this one will return false. So you are not going to execute the first statement here. You are going to execute the next statement, the else statement. So I is greater than 12 printed out. So that's all for that. Cool. Okay, this is going to be comparing the usage of function to compare values. This is a very complex operation, but what you need to do is just to understand the purpose of learning this. Alright, so let me copy this code. Copy, I paste this code inside here, and then I might want to reduce it to just these two comparison to make it easier for you to understand. Alright, so here we use this function called compare. Compare is used to compare two different values. You have two different string here. You declare the data type as string, and then you have this string 1 and then string 2. The way you declare this also a little bit different, which is using this bracket right here, or parenthesis, and then you don't forget to declare string up at the top, because you are using this compare function, which is borrowed from this library up here. But don't forget to put .hash at the end, otherwise it doesn't work on this online GDB. I think I have updated. No, I didn't update we put .hash at the end. So let me run this. What do we want to say inside here? Let's say we call this apple. The string 2 is also apple. So let's run the code. So apple is the same as apple. That is the output. Let's put something else. Banana. Apple is not banana. Alright, so that is how you compare two different words. Sometimes you might want to do this in your project, or you need to understand this for your test or exam later on. So this is basically just understanding how to use this compare function. You don't really need to understand the everything behind all this structure here. The structure here is too complicated for you. You are not learning about this dot thing here. Okay, you have this dot here. You are not going to learn about that. So you only need to understand the usage of this function right here. So every time you need this kind of functionality, simply copy the code, copy and use it for whatever you want to use, for whatever purpose that you might need. Alright, so that is the first example right here. The second example is pretty similar to the previous one just now, so let me replace that. Alright, so this is also something similar, but in a more easier way to interpret. Yeah, this seems like your normal declaration. Okay, you have this character data type with this variable name word 1, and the second one is word 2. The only weird thing here is that this square bracket, the square bracket is also not part of your syllabus, but still you need to understand this just a little bit. Okay, this is what we call array. What happened to you, Priscilla? Why are you leaving? 22 YouTube Canada. Everything is being recorded, so it's okay if you are unable to follow the session now as much as you probably gonna be having some trouble with your internet connectivity or whatsoever, so you can just review back the video later on. It's gonna be a 1 hour something video, so you have to skip a lot. Alright, so this example right here, you are also not required to understand everything, so you just need to understand the usage of it, how to use this string compare function. It is something similar to the previous compare function, but the previous compare function, or line slow, the previous compare function, you use the word compare, the full word compare. You spell the word compare, right? C-O-M-P-A-R-E. So the second method, you are not spelling it as compare. Okay, you use this strcmp. It has been shortened to strcmp. So that is the keyword that you need to memorize. It is actually a function. So function, you will learn function in chapter 5. It's still far ahead from where you are now. You are still in topic 3. This will be learned in topic 5, by the way. And for array, you are not learning about array anyway, but you have to understand, in order to keep more than one alphabet, in order to keep more than one letter inside a character, you have to include this square bracket. Alright, let's say we have this apple here. Let me run this code real quick. Okay, we are going to get this expected result. Strings are equal because we have two words that are the same, apple and apple. So word 1 is apple, word 2 is also apple. So if I change this to mango, let's say mango, so let me run that, it will output strings are unequal because mango is not apple, apple is not mango. But let's say I forgot to put this square bracket before assigning this mango into word 1. Let's see what happened here. Yes, you're gonna get these horrible errors here. It says unable to error, invalid conversion from constant char star to char mango whatsoever. You don't have to understand this. It's just that you are missing this square bracket, right? The square bracket must be included if you plan on using char but having multiple characters. So that is when you need to have this square bracket. Otherwise, if you plan on just comparing just a single letter, like this, MA, so you don't need to have this one, I guess. Let's try. Is it possible? No, it's still not possible. Okay, I'm doing it in differently now. I'm using a single quote. Still not possible because we are using this string compare function. Alright, so there is no other possible way other than having this square bracket. So this is the only way for you to compare even a single alphabet. How about if you use single quotes now? Is it possible? Yeah, it's not possible. You see, it's very specific in terms of its formatting. So you have to follow the formatting. So you must have the square bracket here, you must have the double quotes. You must use the double quotes in order to use this function. That's it. And then you can use it for whatever you want. Okay? Where are you now? Are you still here? Are you guys still here?
Yes, bro. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Alright,
Okay,
so we are left with alright, this to be done inside Code Academy. Alright, so let's get to Code Academy real quick. Code Academy, everyone go to this website here. Okay, as usual, for those of you who might not joining the class on Monday, okay, you might not be having this account yet, so you just sign in with your Gmail account. You sign in with your Gmail account and then you log into this website, and then you go to catalog and then you search for C++, and then you will see this learn C++. Alright, I think we have done this on Monday, right? But I'm not sure up until which chapter. Which chapter did we do on Monday? One je kah? One je kah? Have we done variables? Look at your screen now. Where did you stop?
Hello world.
I compile.
Compile until here kah? Is it until here?
Yes.
Chapter 1 ya. Oh.
Chapter 1, at the end of chapter 1, right? I think you are here. I think you should be where should you be? Combining. Hey, can you go into variables?
Right.
Or are you here? Here kah?
No.
No. Where are you? Where are you now? Compile and execute. This one.
Saya rasa tialah ke.
I'm not so sure anymore because since I plan on going straight to condition, but I'm afraid that you are unable to skip. Learn C++. Can you see this page right here? The front page.
Yes.
Can you choose conditional and logic down here? Is it open for you? Is it accessible?
Yes.
Can I look at the response here? Boleh chat tak?
Yes, sir. It's accessible.
Is it accessible? Can you click on this conditional and logic straight away?
Let's go.
You should be looking at this.
Yes, sir.
You should be looking at this page right now. Boleh?
Boleh.
Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah. If that is possible, then we proceed to here straight away. You don't need to do variables or whatsoever. So is everyone okay? Yang lain-lain yang senyap dari tadi? Hadi, Aidil okay tak? Amir, kita Anis okay tak?
Kejap, sir.
Anisha okay. Apa lagi? Azlin, Charlene okay tak? Hubert.
Mana tu sir? Mana? Tak nampak.
Okay, let me get back to the.
MS.
Alright, let's say you are coming from this page right here. Let's say you're coming from this page. You scroll down, you go to the syllabus section, and then you search for conditional and logic, and then you click on the interactive lesson, the first subtopic there, and then you might not be jumping straight here. You will be you'll be looking at this page right here. Boleh tak? Is everyone here now?
Yes.
Boleh sir.
Alright. Okay. This is going to be our hands-on activity with Code Academy. Alright, let me proceed straight away. I will press next. So this is actually the actually I have done this before, so I need to reset my progress. Wait, I need to reset my progress. Reset progress. Waiting. Alright, syllabus. Alright, I'm doing it as if this is my first time. Okay, this is how it looks like when you just started using this service. You are just gonna see start. If you press start, you will be redirected to hello world. I don't want that to happen, so I go straight to conditional and logic. You press conditional and logic. Yes, you will jump into this page right here. So let me go straight to the first example here, which is coin flip. Okay, here you have a program that is basically doing a coin flip. When you flip the coin, 50% of the time it is head, 50% of the time it is tail. So here is the example code for head or tail program. Run the program 5 times to see an if-else statement in action. So we run it once, tails. Run 2 kali, head, tails. See, okay, it is random. So 50% of the time you will get this value, another 50% will get the other value. So that is basically showing you how we use this if-else statement. This is just an example. You don't really have to do anything else. You don't even have to understand all these things. Just press run, and then you will see this proceed button, next button will be highlighted so that you can press the button. Okay, so next, jump into an if statement here. An if statement is used to test an expression for truth. Alright, so I have explained this earlier, so I will just jump straight to this instruction down here. Inside grade.cpp, which is this panel right here at the center, write an if statement where if grade is larger than 60 is true, output pass. Okay, I skip all these notes. You can read the notes on your own. Everything is also inside the Google slide just now. I took the notes from here. Okay, so what you need to do here is everyone here already? The third page right here.
Oh, sorry.
Is everybody else in here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
other than the one with microphone, the one who doesn't chat on microphone. Are you guys here already?
Oi. Yes, sir.
Are you guys inside here? Alright, so I will proceed straight away. I don't think I will ask you anymore because we are running out of time. Okay, so inside this grade.cpp, write an if statement. So let me write if statement. You just follow along. I hope that you can follow along throughout this tutorial. If grade is larger than 60, then you go down here, you will do this standard colon cout with double quotes, and then you write pass. That's it. Okay, and then you run the code. You see the code will be printed on the right hand side. The output will be printed on the right hand side. Okay, so that's it. If the value here is larger than 60, simply output pass. But if I want to change something here, let's say we put 60 as the grade value, what's gonna happen? You press run button, nothing is being displayed. Okay, nothing is being displayed. So all right, if I change the value to 61, then what happened? Pass. If I revert back to 60, but I change the operator here, the relational operator here, to is larger or equal to 60, then what happened? It's gonna be pass, right? So that is how you play around with relational operator and the value of condition here, the test value here. All right, so next, here comes the relational operators that we did learn earlier in Google slide. So I don't want to repeat this again. I will go straight to instruction. Change the condition here, grade larger than 60 to grade lower than 60. That is what I did just now in the previous page, but they ask you to do that in here, so you need to follow the instruction. Change the relational operator here to less than. So you run the code to see the effect. So nothing is being displayed. Okay, so you get tick here, meaning that you have followed the task, you have accomplished the task here. So change the condition grade lesser than 60, which is the one that you did just now, to grade is not equal to 60. You delete that less than sign and then you change it to not equal here. So you run it again, you should be seeing pass. Okay, and then you get this tick again, so you can proceed to the next topic. Else close. So we can also add an else close to an if statement to provide the code that will only be executed if the condition is false. So I've shown you this earlier. Okay, I've shown you this earlier. You can revisit the video later. You look at this instruction right here, add an else statement that outputs fail. Okay, here you have pass as the output. You need to add one more outcome, which is fail. So you add this keyword else followed by curly braces, and then you follow that pattern right there, standard cout fail followed by =n, and then you run the code. You should be seeing fail being printed out on the terminal. Next, an else if statement. All right, so go straight to, yes, this is the chemistry problem that we have in the Google slide just now. This is where you are going to write that condition here. If pH is greater than 7, output basic. So you have declared, okay, it has been declared here. Now you just need to write the condition. If pH is larger than 7, then you do this, cout basic. Alright, and then if pH is less than 7, output acidic. I go down here, else if pH is lesser than 7, and let's see out acidic. And lastly, else standard cout. You might notice the way I'm writing this code is a bit weird. It's not something is not being arranged properly right here, which is what I'm going to explain to you afterwards. Okay, I'm just writing the last statement here, which is neutral. Alright, as you can see from the way I'm writing this code, after I I wrote the condition here, I straight away go to the statement. I straight away continue after giving a single space after the closing of parenthesis. The same goes to this one, I give a single space. The same goes to after else, I give a single space. It is possible to write it like this. Okay, C++ allows you to write your condition with statement on the same line like this, or if you prefer to have them looking like this, it is also possible to write it like this. It is not compulsory. That is what I'm trying to say. It is not compulsory for you to follow this pattern right here. You can just simply proceed with the line of the condition itself. Whichever method you like is up to you. I just want to let you know you have the freedom of arranging the statement in your code. So it's up to your own preference. Okay. But there are some rules that you need to understand as well, but we are not going into that for now. So this is the complete code here. Let me run the code for you now and see how it runs. So it will say acidic because the value is lower than 7. If I change the value to 7, what happened? It will output neutral. If I change the value to 7.1, it's gonna be basic. If I put any value higher than 7, it's gonna be basic as well, right? Alright, so that's it. You will get this mark here, tick mark, and then you can straight away move to switch statement. I think this is something new for you, because in Google slide just now I explained about if statement. This is the alternative to if statement. So you have this Pokédex. This is an example taken from Pokemon. So looking at this, switch keyword initiate the statement and is followed by the parentheses. Alright, well, let me read from here. A switch statement provides an alternative syntax that is easier to read and write compared to if statement. However, you are going to find this less frequently than if else in the wild, meaning that this is actually similar to if statement, but it is written in different syntax, which you are going to use afterward. So consider this as an alternative. If you don't like to use, if you don't want to use if statement, you can go with this syntax here, which is switch, right? Switch selection. So how do we use this? Let's say you have a variable here. You have a list of Pokemon here: Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, unknown. So you have a variable here called number, and then you can have any numbers inside there, and then you will use that variable as condition, as the test value for the switch condition. So whenever you have number inside here later, this switch case will find that number for you. It will search for number 9, let's say. It will search for number 9. So it will go through. If this number is 9, it looks for the case 9. So all this case is arranged in numerical order: case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, and then lastly you have this default. So is there any case 9 inside here? You don't see any case 9 because there is none. So if there is no case 9, then it will output the last one right here, unknown. So if you run the code, I didn't do anything to the code, I just explain the code to you, and then let me run the code straight away. You should be seeing unknown. But if I want to choose Bulbasaur, what do I write inside this number here? I will change it to 1. So I press run, I will get Bulbasaur in the output. Right? I will get Bulbasaur here. Okay, if I want to get Charmander, so I will write 4 here, and then I rerun the code, I will for sure get Charmander. Alright, that is basically how you use switch case statement. But this is the format that you need to understand, to memorize. Before this, you have if condition, so you write if, but in this case, you are using switch syntax, so you write switch. So you can consider this number or the variable inside this parenthesis is considered as condition as well, or you can consider this as test value. I think it is called test value in this note here, which contain the value that each case will compare. So it doesn't say that, yeah, it is not really a condition. So this is a test value number. So you have this format as well. So you start off with the word case and then followed by number, any number that you like, and then you will need to type this colon. It's not semicolon, it's colon. It is the colon thing here. So 1 colon, and then you can proceed with the statement down here. This is just the normal cout statement, but then it is followed by this break right here. Okay, you have got this break right here. So every cases in every case you need to have break. Break means break away, go out from that case after you have settled the process before the break line here. So let's say I remove the break from case 1, and then I rerun the code. I choose Bulbasaur once again. Okay, I want to get into case 1, so I put 1 here so that I get into case 1. And initially I plan to just output Bulbasaur, but I forgot to put break after that. What's gonna happen is that your output will print out both Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. Okay, because once you forget the break, there is this explanation here. Without the break keyword at the end of each case, the program would execute the code for the first matching case, which is my Bulbasaur in this case, and all the subsequent cases, including the default code. So if you forgot to put break after Ivysaur under case 2, the same thing is gonna happen. If I run the code, it first output Bulbasaur, and then it will output Ivysaur, and then it will output Venusaur. After Venusaur, it sees this break. Alright, it will break away from the case. That is the behavior that you need to understand in switch case. So in order to just be inside the case that you want, and then go out, okay, you get away from the case straight away, you need to remember to put this break statement. Okay, this break statement will let you exit the case straight away after you perform anything that you want inside the case. So whatever break that you have here is to get away from the case. So let's say I choose Charmeleon here, Charmeleon. So it is case 5. I change the code a little bit. So now I'm gonna get Charmeleon with Charizard with unknown. Alright, because after Charmeleon there is no break statement. After Charizard there is no break statement. So it will proceed with unknown as well. After unknown it sees break, so it stops. So that is why you have the final name here is unknown. But we are not following the instruction yet up until now. So let's revert back to the instruction. I have this break here, I have this break, another break here, and then let's look at the instruction down here. Inside this pocketx, we have switch statement, as I have demonstrated to you now. Let's add 3 more cases right before the default. So add these 3 cases before the default. So let's add another case here. You put your cursor above default, you press enter, and then you write the case, the additional case here. So case 7 followed by this standard cout squirtle /n, and then you type in break, and then you can copy case 7, you paste case 7 down there, and then you change the number to 8, and then you change the name to war turtle, and then lastly you add 1 more case, and then you change the number to 9, and then you change the cout statement to Blastoise, and then that's it. You rerun the code and you should be able to proceed. I think I have done this. What is wrong with what was the first number just now? I can't remember the first number. I think that is the reason why I couldn't oh sorry, 9. I think it's 9. So alright, okay, the original number was 9, so you don't change the number. Okay, if you have followed my instruction just now, revert back to the original value 9 here, so that the output is gonna be Blastoise, and then you are gonna be allowed to proceed. So we have managed to finish this part right here. So this is the summary. You can read that up, but I want to do this little Mac interplanetary space boxes example right here. Okay, read this instruction right here. Who is trying to win? Okay, this guy right here, little Mac, is trying to win a championship belt for various weight categories on other planets within the solar system. Okay, look inside the Google slide. I have this picture of him. This is our little Mac here. He's a boxer, right? He's a boxer, and then he plans to visit other planet so that he can fight on that planet. But the problem is we want to keep track of his weight. So in this space.cpp, the program will help him to keep track of his target weight. So we need to ask what is his Earth weight is, and then the second question is ask him where to go, so which planet he plans to go, and then it should compute his weight on the destination planet so that he could be prepared before fighting on that planet. So this is the conversion table given to you here. Okay, for Venus, the relative gravity is given by 0.78. For Mars is 0.39. For Jupiter is 2.65. Alright, and the rest of the list here. So let's write that code real quick. I have 10 more minutes with you. Let me just show you how this will be recorded, so I am not that worried about going too fast. Alright, so look at this example, but I do have the flowchart inside here that you can have a look. Alright, on slide 36 inside the Google slide here, you have this flowchart. Okay, this flowchart can be used for you to refer. Okay, first my first process is gonna be entering the weight of little Mac. Okay, we want to know his Earth weight, so he will enter his Earth weight here, and then he will enter his planet of choice, and then we will do the switching there. Afterward, we will use switch case to change between each planet. So that is the process that you can have a look later on, but I will go straight to programming. So first we need to declare something called earth weight. Alright, okay, earth weight. I just call it earth W. Okay, just to represent his earth weight, and then I will name the other weight, the planet weight later, as double new weight. I don't call it new weight. New W might seems not that good representation of a variable name. So earth W is good for earth weight. And then why are you suddenly saying yes? Okay, I just spell it outright. Okay, weight, new weight, so that you understand this even better. Alright, so you have these two variables here, and then the other one is to choose the planet. You use number to represent the planet. As you can see here, you have got this hashtag, and then so you can maybe name this as hash int with the data type int, because we are going to use number to represent the planet. So let me ask the first question to this guy right here, Little Mac. Alright, don't forget the using namespace std. And then for the cout statement here is enter your earth weight. Enter your earth weight. Then followed by cin. So you will enter this first variable here, earth W, and then you will ask the second question, line slow. Oh, line slow. What happened to your line? I am doing fine, I guess. Yeah, I'm uploading the video at 1.53 megabyte per second, so I don't think I have an issue with internet. Yang lain okay? Masih okay? Are you still here? Are you guys still here?
Yes.
Alright, are you guys writing this code as well, or what? Are you guys writing the code as well? Voice boleh dengar tetapi video start. That is the issue. I'm not sure. I am uploading the code at the video. Hari hujan, line makin teruk. Oh yeah, that might be the issue here. We are not here, is not raining yet, but it's very dark outside. Yeah. Okay, let me proceed. Let me proceed first. Okay, the second one is select your planet. Okay, with the hashtag, maybe because we do have the label hashtag here, it might be helpful for you to see the command later, the statement later. Nasib gileh dengar suara right? But I think the most important part is looking at the screen, not really listening to me, sebab ada lawas di sia ambil. Alright, so the next cin is gonna be the hash value. That is how you choose the planet that you want to visit. Alright, so that's it. And now we use the switch case statement. So we start off with if switch, and then inside the parentheses we write hash followed by curly braces. And then inside here I will do one case right here. The first case is gonna be case 1 followed by colon, and then followed by whatever process that I want to do here. So let's say we want to do the cout statement first. So your weight is your earth weight is Okay, now I need to expand everything out so that you will see everything even better. Okay, so your earth weight is earth W followed by ENDL. And then what do you need to do next is to calculate the new weight. So new weight is equal to earth weight multiply with where was the I need to see the relative gravity here. So 0.78, so that is gonna be his new weight later. So see out. So the next statement is your weight on planet, your weight on planet what? Venus is new weight. Okay, that is how you write this statement. Okay, I think that's it. Then you break away from that. Alright, starting from the first case, you can basically copy it down for you to create the remaining cases. So case 2, your earth weight will be multiplied with 0.39 in order to get your weight on Mars. So the next case is gonna be case 3. So keep in mind that you have two curly bracket, closing of curly bracket after your cases, so you keep on dragging them down. Don't delete one of them, or don't add one more curly bracket that might be an extraneous bracket for you later on. Alright, so this is the next case, case 3. So on Jupiter, the weight is gonna be more than double. So the weight on Jupiter is new weight. Alright, and then case 4, on Jupiter, case 4 is Saturn. So on Saturn, the weight is, the relative gravity is 1.17, so this one is on Saturn. And then case for case 5, there are 6 cases, so bear with me. We are almost done here. So your weight on Uranus, the relative gravity is 1.05, so this one we change to Uranus. And then the last case is gonna be on planet Neptune 6, and the relative gravity is now 1.23, and then you change the C out statement to Neptune. Alright, I guess that's all that you have to do for now. So if you press run, nothing will happen. Okay, it's just that you're gonna get this tick mark here because you have accomplished the task, but what we need to do now is to run the code. So you need to remember how to compile the code using G++ command. So on the terminal window here, you type G++ followed by space.cpp, and before you press enter, I want you to look at the directory here. There is this folder icon. If you click on that, you only see this space.cpp, but if you press enter, okay, you will see this additional file is being created, which is a.out. So we are going to run this a.out file by using the command /a.out. So enter your Earth weight. So my weight on Earth is 60 kilogram. So select the planet of choice. So I plan to go to Neptune. So I choose planet 6. So your Earth weight is 60. Your weight on Neptune is 73.8. So that is how you how the process is being executed. So your weight on Earth is 60. I plan to go to Jupiter. So your Earth weight is 60. Your weight on planet Jupiter is 159. I forgot to put kg at the end. That is my bad. I forgot to put kg. In order for you to put kg, right, you have to be careful with the way you add that statement there. So if you plan to put kg after your weight number here, weight value here, you need to add one more extraction here, and then you have to write kg inside the double quote like this, kg. So for this new weight, you have to do the same process as well. So I will copy these two right here. I will paste it here. Okay, the same goes to right here. I will put it here, and then for this here, 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 and here. All right. So you better be careful. Look at where I put my extraction and kg. Alright, I run the code. No, I don't press the run button. So let me clear the terminal. So by writing clear, you will clear up the terminal there. So you can recompile the code g++ space.cpp, and then you rerun the code a.out. So your Earth weight is 60. Let me go to somewhere else. I want to go to Mars, the nearest to Earth. I go to planet number 2. So why don't I get this on Mars? Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot to copy the kg for your Earth weight here. But it seems like, okay, there is one more thing that I need to fix here. I hope that everyone is still here. Are you guys still here? Are you guys still following?
Again.
Okay.
Yes,
One last thing. From the
Still.
code that I'm doing here, it seems like something is very repetitive, which is this statement right here. Your Earth weight is, your Earth weight is, your Earth weight is. You can see, right? All these things,
Yes.
they are very repetitive. They are actually the same thing. In all these cases, this statement is the same. I am actually repeating them all the time. I'm repeating them all the time. For every case, I repeat them inside every case. So I don't want that to happen. I will take the statement from case 1 and then put it outside the switch case. Okay, I will put that outside the switch case, and then I will remove the similar statement from every case. I don't want to see that statement anymore.
Oh.
Okay, so you are only left with just the calculation part and the final statement part. Okay, the final statement part, even though it looks pretty similar, but the name of the planet is different here. So you have the alternative way of doing this, but I just want to show you using this method right here, using just a plain cout statement. You hard coding the name here. You write the planet name inside cout statement. For group C this morning, I did it differently, so you can watch the video on that. So you can watch the live stream. You scroll all the way to the end. I did the code slightly different than this. so that you have a number of different coding style. Yeah, I hope that I didn't. Alright, I need to rerun the code now, so I will do this once again, space.cpp, and then I will rerun the code. So enter your weight on Earth is 60, on enter the planet that you want to visit. There you go. Why do I still not getting this
Nge-lag sir, nge-lag.
your Earth weight is 60. Why don't I get this kg being printed out? That is the problem now.
3 months.
Did I forgot to press run? Probably, maybe to save the code somehow. Okay, let me recompile the code. Okay, space, and then rerun the code. Okay, Earth weight is 60, and then I want to go to Mars. Yes, I forgot to press run. Okay, run simply like saving the code first.
No.
You have to save the code. You can see the kg is being printed out at the end. Now that is what I want you to see. Enter your weight on Earth is 70, and then your planet is, let's say, Uranus, 5. So your Earth weight is 70 kg. Your weight on planet Uranus is 73.5. It's just 1.05 times the weight on Earth. So your weight on planet Uranus will be almost similar to your weight on Earth. It's just by just a small margin of difference. So it's only 3.5 kg difference. So okay, that's basically the conditional part of the lesson today. In the next lesson, in the next session, we are going to learn about logical operators. So basically you have done the conditional part. Later you are going to learn about the logical part of this. You are going to play around with all this and or not gate. It will be done in the next session on Wednesday.
Sir, belum scan.
Alright.